Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Financial Business. Today, I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Tonight, I'm going to talk about HUBZONE. HUBZONE is a set-aside that's allocated by the federal government. By definition, it reads, HUBZONE, HUBZONE, is a United States Administration, SBA, program for small companies that operate and employ people in historically unutilized business zones. So they're called HUBZONEs. HUBZONE programs created in response to the HUBZONE Empowerment Act by Congress in 1998. Based on the act, small business will be designated as a HUBZONE certified if they meet the following criteria. First, they must be a small business under the NAICS code size standard. Again, NAICS code standards. Number two, must be 51% owned, controlled by the citizen of the United States. Number three, the firm's principal office located where the greatest number of employees perform the work, excluding the site, okay, must be in the HUBZONE. And number four, 35% of the firm's workforce must reside in a HUBZONE, okay? And those are defined by every 10 years as the census is done, and they will designate where's the HUBZONE. And believe it or not, downtown of every city in the United States, usually it's going to be a HUBZONE. Downtown Jacksonville, downtown New York, downtown DC, downtown Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, whatever. Downtown, believe it or not, even those are multi-billion-dollar companies that reside there and thousands and hundreds of thousands of employees, those are considered a HUBZONE. But usually it's going to be in a depressed area that they're allowing people to get employment. For example, the inner city would be a HUBZONE. So you almost can put your money on if it is a inner city, it's going to be on the HUBZONE. Also, so some rural areas that because of income and high employment, those areas can be HUBZONE certified as well. Some of the frequently asked questions. Now, again, if you get your certification as a HUBZONE, you can it will open the doors to a lot of small business contracts. So, your 8A, which we'll talk about next week or later this week on. If you are certified by the Department of Defense, Department of Transportation, a small business or whatever, but HUBZONE is another set aside that by law they have to give so many contracts to small business that fits in the HUBZONE area. And as long as they meet those four qualifying criteria. Question, if I own the company applying for HUBZONE certification, should I include myself and calculate the number of employees? The question is yes. You can count regardless of whatever you serve in the paid or unpaid status, as long as you consider yourself as a principal employee of the firm and spend full-time hours devoted to the firm. Another question here is, what does the term reside mean in reference to the residency requirement? The answer for that is reside means to live in a primary residence at a place for at least 180 days or 6 months, or currently registered voter with the intent to live indefinitely. Employers should be aware that it makes no difference which HUBZONE their employee resides in. An employee can reside in the HUBZONE and work in another and meet the standard for residency requirements. Another question here, what does the principal office mean? Is a location where the greatest number of employees at any one location actually perform work, except for construction, service, business, which have exemption based on the occupational need. Things to reside employees in a contract location. The principal office means some very different from a company headquarters. Okay, principal office headquarters. It should happen that a small business might be headquartered in another HUBZONE location and establish a principal office. Again, principal office within the HUBZone locality still qualifies legitimately for a program participation. Here's another question. What benefits are small business receive in this program? You get a competitive edge. You get sole source contracting. You get full and open contracting. You also get subcontracting. What does that mean? Competitive. Contracts can be a set aside for HUBZone competition when a contract officer has a reasonable expectation that at least two qualified HUBZone small business concerns will submit offers that the contract will be awarded at a fair market price. Okay? That's competitive. So if a contract officer, and which I'm going to have a guest on sometime this week, if they have two offers, they can give an award by who has the best, fair price. Not the best price, but fair price. Okay? So if you're in good with this contractor, there's really their judgment, the fair price, once he has two. Sole sources mean they can award you a contract without any other bidders. So if they can't find any other HUBZone and they put the information out, they can actually just award it to you anyway. Just give it to you. So that's sole source. Okay? By definition, work can be awarded. Contracts can be awarded in the contracting office and determine that only one qualified HUBZone small business is responsible to perform the contract. Two or more qualified HUBZone SBAs are likely to submit offers and the anticipation award price of a proposed contract, including options not to exceed $5 million for the requirement within the NAICS. Again, that means North American Industry Classification System codes for manufacturing, or $3 million for the requirement within all NICS codes. Full and open, competitive. Okay, full and open means competitive contracts can be awarded with a price equivalent preference. Okay, the offer of the HUBZone small business must be 10% higher than the offer of a small business. Okay, so you can go as if your contract they give us 100,000. That's to mean they can go up to additional 10% over to give it to you if you're a higher bidder. So that's mean they can give you up to 110 and award it to you. Subcontracting opportunities as well. If you are part of the prime, you can automatically get a sub. You can be as a sub. Here's another question: can the HUBZone certified firms receive any special loan guarantees or tax credits? No, there aren't none. Another question I have was submitted a HUBZone application, but have not received any updates. How can I check the status? You can go to online HUBZone electronic application, fill it out. It usually takes 90 days. As long as you have all the information at the very beginning, you should get an answer right away. I haven't seen it no sooner than 45 days. But make sure you have everything ready for you. Have your payroll information if you're one employee. You're just one employee. Make sure your mailing address and all your information is in CCR that way. So they're going to look at CCR. It makes it a lot easier if it's listed the same way. So if you're located downtown Dallas, make sure that your Dun & Bradstreet and the CCR matches that on the application, and it'll go a lot quicker. The last two questions. Now you're certified, but you still have to market yourself. So you can be certified, but you still got to go compete for business. Okay, so you need to pick up the phone and call people and let them know that you are HUB certified, and they will look. They're not gonna look for you, but they're looking for people like that. But they're not gonna look for you in a sense. You need to call them and let them know that you are HUB certified. Another criteria: there are maps. Again, they're going to be in rural areas, inner city areas, downtown, business, and certain districts. And you put your address in there, your zip code. They'll pull it up and say you're qualified or you're not qualified. And it's as simple as that. Either you are or you aren't. Okay? And they'll tell you if you're not qualified. It's a real easy program. You just need to fill out the information and make sure you have all the information complete. That's all you really need. And if you have all your payroll information, you have all the information ready to go, you have no problem with getting awarded. And again, once you're awarded, you need to market it aggressively. Let everybody know that you are HUB certified. HUB, HUB certified, which means historical, underutilized business zone certified. I have another question that's posed in here. Give me a second. Can a small business, both A and HUBZone, compete for the same country? Absolutely, yes. If you, again, it says, can a business, both 8A and HUBZone, compete for the contract opportunities? More certifications you have, more opportunities and doors will open to you. So if you are 8A SBD, which is certification of Small Business Administration, small business, and also if you have your HUBZone, all these certifications will help you get more contracts and more opportunities. Of course, if you GSA, which we're going to have someone on the show in a couple of days, that's more opportunities for you as well. Very last question. Does the program only allow businesses who are currently located in the HUBZone? Can firms move to these areas and become eligible? Yes, you can be eligible if you move to the firm. So I would say, yeah, make the money, make the investment to move into a firm, to a location that is HUBZone. It is to your benefit. And again, they're also through state agencies and federal agencies, people you hire in your area, you can get tax breaks for. So it's a win-win situation. You get tax credits if you make employees. There are grants available for those as well. We're going to have a show, I think, beginning on the 27th launch. We're going to talk about federal contracting in more detail and talk about federal grants. So I believe that's going to be the last week of February when we launch our new branding for our show, which is Changes to the Business Core Show. So more information will be a week-long series just on grants. Great show just on grants alone. So just look out for that information. To close with, being Hub certified is really simple. It's not a really difficult process to be. If you stay in that area, if you're a business located in the area, you can be HUBZone certified. If you're looking to get into that, it's real simple to do. You just go to the SBA, go to HUBZone program, and it says the census map, and you just go there, HUBZone, and it's a yes, you in the area. Then it will send you to an application if you need to fill that application out. So again, it's to your benefit. Applying is easy, maintaining is pretty easy. Make sure you keep records, because if you get audited, you must have complete records. And I would suggest, if you take any federal contract and it lists in there regarding the audit, that you will get a payroll service to do your taxes. Do your payroll, so you would have that information always, because if they come and audit you, you don't have it, they can take your contract or you can be fined. So if you do that, it's worth it paying the $20 or $30 to have someone to run your payroll, and you run it seamless. You hire someone, you pay them by that payroll. So you have living proof if something happens that you're compliant. So it's all about being compliant. So again, the definition of having a HUBZone is you're designated by the Small Business Administration, which means historical underutilized business zone, which is HUBZone, HUBZone, and it's part of the 1998 Congress Act, Small Business Designation. You must have 4 things. Your firm must be a small business based on the NAICS codes for 5 standards, okay, which is the national, meaning it's the North American Industry Classification System. Number 2, you must be 51% owned and controlled by a U.S. citizen. Number 3, your firm's principal address, the location where the greatest number of employees perform the work, excluding the contract site, must be in the HUBZone. And number 4, 35% of the firm's total workforce must reside in the HUBZone. Those are the simple qualifications. You stay in that zone, you qualify. If you do the work in that zone, you qualify. Now, here's a caveat. If you're in a zone and, for example, you had to drive to a military base to perform the work, that's fine. But you performing the work is there, is fine. But you bring in all your paperwork and all your business dealings, you're operating out of one particular office, which is in a HUBZone. That's fine, because you can operate your business all across the country. You can drive or fly there or send things to. If you send them a piece of mail, they still qualify. So anyway, that's the information on the HUBZone. Appreciate you listening to the program. We have a great lineup for the next 2 weeks, and look out for the grant week. A full week just dealing with grants, and then we have another one just on contract. This is Tim JK. Thank you for listening to the program. Again, it's another production of Apple Capital Group. You can download this episode on iTunes. And on February 27th, we will launch our new show. We'll rename it as From Financial Business to the Core Business Show. Can I give you a little preview? Here's the introduction to the show.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Okay, so that is the introduction. So let me do one of the closing as we go out. Again, thank you for listening to the program. I'll have this information available on Blog Talk Radio, also on our blog at blog.apple Capital Group. Thank you for listening to the program and have a good day. Tim Jacquet with Apple Capital Group.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet.